Welcome to Full Disclosure, where we're recording this on a Thursday, so we're giving you Thursday energy and not Monday energy.
Speaking of where we are now as an industry and the calendar year, I would love to move us into our mortgage industry vibe check. So after the summer slowdown, mortgage industry wakes up for conferences in the fall market before slipping back into a tryptophan coma. For holidays, right now where we are, what is the state of lending? How are people feeling in this time of the year?
I think generally volume seems a little slower, and anyone who has any interest in changing any of their technology is doing it now. There's a lot of people switching loan systems, other vendors. People are planning for 2026. So there's a lot of that kind of moving around. So this is always a big planning time, both internally. It's strategic planning is pretty much taking over my brain right now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of mortgage companies are doing the same thing with kind of figuring out what their technology plan is going to be for the coming years.
Yeah. And I mean, from a sales side, we kind of see this game every year where, we hit November and people start requesting contracts to start looking over for next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get a couple of demos in and all of that. So it's like a slow but busy season in our sales. And so it's really nice to kind of see this continue to move forward and know that, we're going to have a bunch of exciting new clients to work with in January to help them get their year started right, to help us get our year started right, and really add that level of partnership. So very excited.
And I don't want to jump the gun on Jim's book club, but I did want to ask about AI. 2025 felt like the year of AI.
Yep.
How is that changing the way that lenders are optimizing? How is that affecting the state of the market, right?
So I think it went from people being AI curious to kind of accepting that it's something that can help them as an organization. So there are a lot of areas in the mortgage process that AI can ultimately do better than humans, in my opinion. What I do think is happening is that people are using AI for automation of the current process, not necessarily changing how a mortgage gets originated. And I think ultimately that's a mistake. So we actually work with I had an interesting moment at MBA Annual where we have a vendor who that we work with. They're a client, Pylon Lending. They're really doing a lot to change the way a mortgage gets originated. Really innovative stuff in a way that a lot of other folks aren't going about. And then I was talking to someone I knew at a top 10 lender who talked to them, was familiar about them. And he basically said oh, these guys are great. I mean, we can't implement it here, but I'd love to invest in them. Right. So it's kind of like tongue in cheek of oh, we can't actually change what we're doing, but we just want to kind of make sure we own some of the upside on this. So.
Yeah. I think practical AI is really something that we're going to see more and more of. I think, our tool that we're going to really promote, I think, heavily here in January is very much a practical AI solution, right? It makes sense with what we do, how we do it. It's very logistically sound, I think, right? And I think we're going to see more and more of that, right? And less of that shiny chatbot AI, right? I think there is a piece of shiny new tech, as we always like to say, right? Of oh, it is it's a voice activated caller, right? I think there was a lot of conversation around UWM's chatbot, right? Or voice Mia. But she has a name. They all have names. They all have names. And I think to that point, right? I think a lot of people are asking questions about disclosures, all of that. And also I get a lot of spam calls. I'm not picking up the phone. So I wonder long term, how is that gonna last?
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe wherever you have listened to this podcast. And just remember, if you are in the mortgage industry or mortgage curious, please go and sign up for our discovery platform right on our website. Anyone who signs up via their LOS or on our discovery API, we will donate 100 meals to Feeding America through the end of the year.
Full disclosure, the second edit, pretty good.
Yeah, I thought we mixed up some things.
We mixed up some things. We did a good job.
Full disclosure, second edit better?
Question mark? Doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.